Nowadays, lasers are used for all sorts of things. They remove hair, they tighten skin, they fade age spots. Or do they? Dr. Steve Jepson is with the Utah Dermatologic and Medical Procedures Clinic and knows exactly what lasers can and can't do. Sometimes people confuse them with other stuff, and we're going to get to that in a second. But first of all, give me an example of what can lasers really do for your skin.
Well, we're talking about cosmetic lasers for the face and for the skin. This is becoming the #1 cosmetic procedure, I think, in the world now, and certainly in the United States. Lasers are great for removing abnormal pigment like reds and browns on the skin, age spots, sun damage, excellent at tightening the skin, helping reduce fine wrinkles, good at getting rid of spider veins both on the face and on the legs, and then also hair reduction.
Well, we were talking about some of these things. In fact, you have brought some pictures with us so we can see exactly what these lasers can really do before and after some people who have actually had laser procedures. Wow.
So these are some examples of some clients from our office. In fact, this lady had a lot of redness in her face, so you can see laser can reduce redness. Also look under her eyes. It's a great example of how laser can tighten skin, both in the under eye area or just through the whole face. I think people kind of want a tauter look to their skin, and laser can do that. And I don't know how well it shows up on TV, but her pores through her nose are significantly smaller as well.
Yeah, I can see that. So
laser can reduce that. Then the next picture will kind of show how laser can help with browns. A lot of folks have a lot of brown sun damage. This is an example of pregnancy mask, where a lot of women, due to hormone changes through pregnancy and due to birth control pills, will get a lot of browns in their skin, and laser can effectively reduce that. So lasers are extremely effective in terms of making significant changes in damage to skin, both from sun, from aging, and just from life.
Those are really some dramatic before and after pictures. And a lot of people are going out now and pointing lasers themselves, or having the doctors point lasers at them. But there are some questions people need to answer. In fact, I've heard there's a difference in lasers and IPL. What is that?
I kind of want to point out, because people are searching out lasers, I kind of want to point out some things that consumers should be aware of when they're looking for lasers. The first thing is to make sure that you're even getting a laser. Most laser centers around town use something called an IPL, which is an intense pulse light. It's not even a laser. It uses a broad spectrum of light to kind of affect some of the same changes that laser can do. It's pretty good at removing hair. It's pretty good at removing age spots in the face, but doesn't do a lot of the other things that lasers do. It also uses light less specifically, and so it has a lot more complications associated with it. Most of the time we're hearing about cosmetic laser problems, it's coming from an IPL causing burns or things like that. We don't see that nearly as much with real lasers like we have at our office. So I always recommend that you know exactly what kind of equipment's being used, and choose a laser over IPL if you can.
So if that's the first question, make sure it's a laser, not an IPL. What would be the second question that people should know before they do a laser procedure?
The second thing is find out who's running your laser. In the state of Utah right now, in most situations, it's a laser tech that's running the laser in doctors' offices. Lasers are medical prescriptive devices. The FDA actually requires that an MD buy the laser, but it's up to the state in terms of who runs the laser. In the state of New Jersey, for example, they will allow only doctors to run these lasers. In the state of California, they'll only allow an RN or a nurse practitioner under the direct supervision of a doctor. But in the state of Utah right now, just about anybody can run a laser as long as a doctor bought the laser.
So you could buy the laser and hire me, and I don't know a thing, but I could be operating.
Yeah, you go and get a couple hours worth of training and kind of know what settings to use. And I just don't think that's right. I think that these are devices that in the wrong hands can cause some problems. And so I think that my recommendation is, when you're shopping for lasers, go somewhere where either the doctor's running the laser or the doctor's at least on site at the time, and someone like a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant or an RN is running that laser, not just a laser tech just out of high school who's given the keys to the laser and allowed to run it. And sadly, that's what happens a lot in the state.
One last question, briefly. This is know what the doctor knows about the laser, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of laser companies out there trying to get these into doctors' offices. They're telling the doctor, you can buy a laser, put it in your back room, make a lot of money. The doctor will send their staff to go get the training, and the staff will run the laser part of the practice. I don't think that's right. I think that the doctor needs to be involved in the laser part of the practice. A doctor who's involved will understand the lasers, will make sure you get the best results, will make sure that you have the least amount of complications, and if there's a problem, he'll know how to fix it. So be sure that the doctor is very much involved in the laser part of the practice.
Yeah, so lasers do wonderful things. Make sure you're getting a laser, and make sure that there's a doctor doing it and he knows what he's doing it as well. If you have more questions, you can certainly contact the Utah Dermatologic and Medical Procedures Clinic. Did I get that right there? Did I spell it out?
That is right. And we want to point out that when you come to our office, you'll get the absolute highest quality laser care. And for